students, welcome back again to today's session from Shri Baspa Public School, Ilkal. As you all know that we have been discussing the chapter 4 from the Unit II-Flora and Fauna, and the chapter is Animal Habitats. So in this chapter we learnt about habitats, adaptation, hibernation and also classification of animals on the basis of their habitats, and we learnt about the first type of animals, that is terrestrial animals. So in this session let's continue the remaining different kinds of animal, and today let's begin with the aquatic animal, the second type of animal. Aquatic animals. Aqua means water. So these are the animals which lives in water, known as aquatic animals. Example like fish, ducks, swan, turtles and crabs. These are all the animals which stays in water. Hence these are all called as aquatic animals. But they don't have any lungs to breathe. Hence, they have one different organ known as gills. What? They use gills to breathe. So, this is known as gills. Fish have gills to breathe. Even these fish have fins to swim in water. They have fins to swim in the water, as they don't have any legs to walk in water. So that they use fins to swim in the water. Ducks have webbed feet. As you can see here, they have webbed feet through which they will swim in the water. And turtles have flippers. What it is? Flippers, and they will use to swim in the water. So fish can only live in habitat that is formed by the water. Without water, the fish can't survive. Okay, so fish habitat is water. Without water, there are no aquatic animals. They feed on the plants and other water creatures. These aquatic animals feed on water plants and also some other animals that present under water. Moorhen. Moorhen is the name of a bird. So moorhens feed on water plants. It feed on water plants, insects and tadpoles. What do you mean by tadpole? So baby of the frog. Okay, and this will build their nest in the shelter of the reeds that grow on the banks. It will build its nest near any water sources. Why? Because as it feed on water plants and insects and even tadpoles that will get near water sources, it will not build its nest on the trees. Okay. The seashore also forms a one kind of habitat, as it keeps changing all the time as the waves crash and tide comes and goes out. Now let's see the third kind of animal, and that is amphibians. These are all the animals that they live on land as well as in the water. So they can survive in both the sides, that is on land also in the water, are known as amphibians. Example for amphibians are frogs, toads and salamanders. These are all the amphibians that they can survive both in water as well as on the land, as they spend a part of their lives in water and as a part of their life on the land. These animals have lungs to breathe. While they will be on the land, that time they use lungs to breathe. And while they were in the water, that time they have a moist skin, so that they use the skin to breathe in the water. So that they use lungs when they are on the land, and also they will use their moist skin which will help them to breathe in the water. When they are in the water, that the skin will help them to breathe in the water. That's why they are capable of being in water as well as on the land. But toads have a dry skin. They don't have moist skin. They have dry skin. Frogs have long and strong hind legs. Hind means back legs, which will help them to jump and move on the land. With the help of their back legs, they are capable of jump and move on the land. But toads walk. They can't jump as frog jump. It will walk on the land. Both frogs and toads swim when they are in water. They use their webbed feet while they were in the water. They use webbed feet to swim in the water. Let's see life cycle of a frog. Female frogs lay eggs in water. Then tadpoles hatch from these tiny eggs. The tadpoles are come from the tiny eggs. Tadpoles swim in water. We do not see any tadpoles on land because they do not have any feet to walk on the land. They only have a tail which helps them to swim in the water. They breathe through their gills. They use gills to breathe in the water. They eventually spread their legs and absorb their tail and becoming a froglet. It forms a froglet. Then becomes an adult frog. In this way, the adult frog forms. The adult frog has a webbed feet which is used to swim in water and whoops on the land. Okay children, now let's see the fourth type of animal, and that is aerial animals. So like aerial roots, here aerial animals. Examples, birds are called as aerial animals. Birds are aerial animals as they have wings to fly and a light hollow bone. They have very light hollow bones which keep their body weight down. Because of the hollow bone, they are having very less weight so that they can fly easily in the air. Of course, they don't spend whole time or whole life in the air, but they are mostly airborne. Hence, they are rightfully called aerial animals. Okay, they spend most of the time in the air. Okay, and their body is airborne. Hence, they are called as aerial animals. Okay, but all aerial animals are not birds. Okay, all flying animals are not considered as a bird. What is this? It is a bat. So, it's not considered as a bird. It's a mammal, but it can fly. And even all birds cannot be called as aerial animals, and some birds cannot fly. Like example, penguin, emu, ostrich can't fly. Why? Because they have more weight. Hence, they can't fly. Hence, they are not considered as aerial animals. Alright children, now let's see the last kind of animals, and that is arboreal animals. Example for these animals are monkeys, chameleons, lizards and squirrels. These animals are considered as arboreal animals. Why? Because they live on trees. Because they spend most of the time on trees, and their habitat is trees. Which is their habitat? Their habitat is tree. Hence, they are called as arboreal animals. These animals have strong claws to cling to branches. They have very strong claws to which they can hang from the branches. Even monkeys have a long strong tails with which they swing from the branches of the tree. With the help of their strong long tail, they can hang from the branches of the trees. Although birds build their nest on trees, but they are not considered to be arboreal animal, as they spend most of the time in the air. Hence, they are called as aerial animal, not arboreal animal. Now, let's move to the last topic from this chapter, and that is vanishing habitats. So, here we come to know that the animal's habitat is vanishing because of our action. How? We are cutting down trees, we are causing deforestation. It means we are destroying the forest, we are destroying the shelter, we are destroying the home of these animals, so that these animals are coming out of the forest in search of their food and shelter. And you have already heard or seen in news that the leopards sometimes spotted in towns or cities. They are coming in the towns and cities in search of their food and shelter. As they come in search of their food and shelter, they will destroy the crops and village too. So children, it's our responsibility to take care of them. We should not harm to any other animals. We should take care of them for the future generation. So children, this complete your chapter 4 animal habitats, and this is your homework. Explain the classification of animals based on their habitats along with examples. So here you have to explain the classification of animals based on their habitats, and you should mention the example for each habitat. Okay. So write it neatly in your EVS homework book.